We have officially turned the calendar to August, and that can only mean one thing. It is finally redraft month. August, man. Training camp, preseason football, multiple fantasy football drafts, all gearing up for kickoff on the 5th of September. On today's episode of the Regression to Mean podcast, we have a standard PPR mock draft. Our super fan Little Bear, if you're watching Little Bear, he requested that we do a draft with just one flex, a kicker, and a defense. So that's what we're going to do. This is going to be your standard home league PPR settings. We want to make sure that we give you all the available information and strategies for your upcoming drafts so you can dominate your coworkers in your work league. You can dominate your idiot college buddies in your college league, and you can take down any family, friends, or foe this season in fantasy football. So I'm excited for this draft. I'm going to be drafting from the 2 spot. Aidan, you're going to be drafting from the 5th spot. A little inside baseball here. This is actually where we're drafting in one of our big home leagues that you and I play in. So we might be tipping our hands a little bit, but
maybe it's smoke. We'll see. Maybe it's real. I don't know.
See. We'll see if it's smoke. We'll see if it's real. I'm going to pull up the draft board here. Give me 1 second. There she blows. All right, we've got 60 seconds on the clock. Aidan, you ready to do this?
Let's get in there.
All right, I'm starting it up. Before I make this pick, if you are not subscribed to the Regression to the Mean podcast, you know what to do. Like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notifications to make sure you aren't missing any of the content we are dropping weekly on this channel. I'm innovative. I'm dropping the subscribe during the pick, Aidan. Not many people are doing that around here.
We're as real as it gets. It's just plain and simple.
This is pretty easy. If you have the 2 spot, I think you comfortably take CeeDee Lamb here. Sure. CeeDee Lamb has virtually no challenger for targets. This offense projects to be a good offense. Dak's a good quarterback. The O-line's good. It's just a slam dunk. The guy was the wide receiver 1 last year. He could easily be wide receiver 1 again.
Man, I was hoping one of those 2 were here. This is a tough one. I still haven't landed on what I would actually do here. I think ARSB is the safer pick in terms of, what I think he's going to get from a week-to-week basis, but Jamarr Chase has the wide receiver 1 upside with him, especially if Joe Burrow is right this year. We've seen it when those 2 are on. It's, pretty special on a week-to-week basis. It's a bit of a coin flip. I wouldn't go running back yet. Like, these are the 6 players that I would, for sure start with in any order. The 4 that have gone. Man. I think I'm going to go with Jamarr Chase. I'm trying to win fantasy championships. He's definitely the higher ceiling out of the 2. But man, I'd be happy walking away with either one of those guys.
I'm with you there.
It's a hard one though. Like, ARSB is a PPR merchant.
Oh, let me turn off this noise.
Cool. So I'm back up on the clock. So I've got some nice wide receivers here. I could go someone like Achane. I'm not going to do that. I could also dip my toes in the elite QB bucket. I own Josh Allen on a team I won last year, and it was a blast. I don't think I want to do it, though. It's just in the 2nd round, there's still such good players. Drake London profiles to be such high upside with Kirk. And then you've got Aiyuk. Absolutely love Aiyuk. I actually had Allen and Aiyuk on the same team that I was just referencing. I love Brandon Aiyuk. I don't really care where he plays this year. It's going to be in San Francisco, but I absolutely love his upside. Partnering him and Chase together, I feel like is a really strong foundation to start a fantasy team.
If you've watched any of our mock drafts, I think it's pretty predictable what I'm going to do at this spot. Again, a lot of people are going to make arguments about Devon, Achane, saying he's the backup running back to Mostert, saying that he's small and diminutive and he's going to get hurt. All running backs have a high likelihood of getting hurt. They touch the football more than anyone, all right? So they take a lot of hits. Sure, he might be smaller, but his BMI isn't ridiculously low. It's not like Jaleel McLaughlin low over here. And if you watch Devon Achane's tape from last year on Curtain Call Replays, one of my favorite YouTube channels to watch, every single touch, This guy is so special, ridiculously special. Like, he's so good at football. So give me Achane every day of the week here.
I also just have like no confidence that Mostert's gonna like replicate even close to what he did last year. Like if you look at the year to year over his season, like nothing's even come close to that production.
Yeah, and I love Mostert as a Niner fan. Raheem's the truth, but he's like the oldest running back in the NFL. So
he's
that's a
32
profile
now?
that's hard to bet
31?
on. Yeah.
No, pretty firmly good off that.
This is another easy click for me. I feel very comfortable going wide receiver with my first 2 out of 3 picks or 3 out of 4 picks. So I'm going to feel really good about this. I think Nico Collins is the alpha in this offense. I'll take Nico every day of the week, twice on Sundays.
Yep. So this is an interesting spot here. This is probably like the first place that I feel comfortable taking a running back in this position. I like Josh Jacobs and I like Pacheco. We've raved about Pacheco pretty much all off season. And there's a couple of really fun wide receivers. If I wanted to, we can start 3 wide receivers in this format with your flex. So you've got Mike Evans, massive weeks. DJ Moore with the new contract. You've got Debo, who, just touchdown machine. Man, I could go a lot of different ways with this pick. Kind of just want to do some scrolling. Who do I see the next
Debo
one?
plus Aiyuk together would be wild.
I know. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to go with Pacheco here. I see this as a really safe floor pick. I think Josh Jacobs could potentially have a higher ceiling, but he's also a bit older and has had some injuries over the years. So I like the wide receivers that I think are going to make it back to me here, but let's see. There's someone that I really have my eye on that I think I could get. Cool. It's not Cooper Kupp, but that's crazy, man. Cooper Kupp could be an insane value this year if he's actually right. DK Metcalf was the guy that I was really hoping made it back to me. I think DK as your wide receiver 3 is extremely strong. You've got some QBs here too. You've got Stroud. If you watched our last episode, nothing against Stroud, but the price is rich, man. Like he's really got to score a fuck ton of touchdowns to hit at his ADP here in the middle of the 4th. So I'd probably go with DK here. Love James Cook also. You could even dip your toes into Mark Andrews here if you're really feeling confident. Then, man, Cooper Kupp is like, if Cooper Kupp hits and you're getting him in, the middle of the 4th here around 50.
Dude, I think I'd take Kupp over. I think I'd take Kupp over Metcalf.
I've just gotten burned. I just got burnt bad last year. Like it just feels like PTSD. And I like DK as my wide receiver 3.
Yeah.
He's still there.
Okay, so Kupp's here. I'm probably going to take Cooper Kupp here. In the perfect world, though, I'm able to pull off this Mark Andrews, Zay Flowers situation where I could take Marky Mark right here and then take Zay on the wrap. I am going to go with Cooper Kupp here, and fingers crossed I land Mark Andrews. But see, I'm torn here because I could take Mark Andrews and then I get a choice of hopefully Zay Flowers or Cooper Kupp. But that's tough. Both could go. I'm going to take Cooper Kupp. I'm going to lock up my wide receiver 3 here. It's about as good of a wide receiver 3 as you're going to get, in my opinion.
There he is. Nice.
Wow. Okay, A-Rich off the board.
Too.
Okay, so this is kind of a dream situation here. I was saying this on the last mock draft we did. I'm really just trying to fill out my roster here. I think sometimes before you could get greedy and take your 4th wide receiver here, but this is you're playing 3 wide receivers each week, 1 in your flex, 2 as your starters. Like you don't really have to take a Zay Flowers here, in my opinion. I think it make more sense to have an elite onesie, right? Yeah. Or if you're playing 4 wide receivers, that's why I'm an advocate for 2 flexes. If you're in a league with 2 flexes, it's the best. Yeah. Tell your commissioner 2 flexes. I think this is an incredibly easy choice, though, with Mark Andrews. I'm worried about the ankle injury. I have some concerns there, but this is a really affordable price for Mark Andrews here in the 5th round. I'm going to scoop him up every day of the week because if he is right, he's the number 1 in this offense.
Man, I thought James Cook might just fall. You don't have a ton of interest in Zay at ADP. It's someone I've kind of faded a little bit, not as a person, but it just feels like I'd rather have Tank Dell here. I'd rather have Keenan Allen here. Not a ton of interest. And do I want I don't know, man. Kenneth Walker is really annoying. It's not someone I'm dying to roster. And then you've got the elephant in the room here too. You've got Kyle Pitts. Well,
No.
I actually like this year, but I don't think I would do it.
No.
Man, this would be a really hard spot. To your point, it's like you want to fill out the roster spots. I really don't like Kenneth Walker here. I think I'd rather get a running back later on. I kind of know some of the names that are down a bit farther. I think I'm going to go with my wide receiver 4 and take Dell and bank on him returning to some of that rookie brilliance he flashed last year. And then we'll see what running backs like. This is probably going to be a running back spot for me, I think, now that I've got, or maybe even a QB. Let's see what QBs we've got here. Man, this might have been a mistake. No, I think I'm going to keep kicking the can a little bit, but I don't like where I put myself, unfortunately. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go with Evan Engram. Really like Evan Engram here. I think this is a much safer tight end pick than Kyle Pitts. I think obviously Pitts has like tight end 1 upside, but I think, Evan Engram pretty consistently right now is Trevor Lawrence's number 2 behind Christian Kirk. So love Engram here. Fill out that slot. Still need a QB. Still need a running back too, but there's still some really good value in the later rounds. Don't feel like you have to fill in your positions in order. It's okay to get some value later.
Yeah. Oh man, this is making me think that I shouldn't have taken Kupp, maybe taken a running back like a James Cook with the fourth round, because man, these receivers are good.
I know. I'm like, fuck. I kind of wish I did take another running back early, but there's still some really good running back value here in the later rounds. Like, there's some guys we like.
Odunze is so nasty. I really want that rookie upside. Like, he's such an ideal person to pair with Cooper Kupp. And Rashee Rice is there too. I'm gonna go Odunze here over. Yeah, I'm gonna go Odunze. I want that rookie upside at the end of the year, and then I'm gonna jump in front of quarterback here because I know Aiden's gonna take him. So I'm gonna take Kyler here. I think Kyler is one of the best values on the entire board. I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna spam Kyler Murray. He should not be going behind Dak Prescott and Joe Burrow, in my opinion. So I'm gonna take Kyler Murray here and lock down my quarterback spot.
That was disrespectful. So I'm gonna fill in my running back 2 here. I was actually really hoping that I got him here. I love Najee's value this year. I think there's still a bit of a committee with him and Jalen Warren, but Najee was sneaky, really damn good last year. He finished his 23 there. Not bad. The underlying metrics were pretty solid. I like him as my running back 2 here. Like, I fear the offense can't be much worse than it was last year. Feels like they kind of short up the line. The QB play figures to be better, whether it's Russ or Fields. So I like Najee in the 7th.
They're going to run the ball so much.
I think they're just going to run the fuck out of the ball, yeah.
They're going to run the ball so much.
I'm kicking the can on QB. I think we kind of know where I'm going. QB in the later rounds.
You're going to go Caleb?
It's very possible.
Jaden.
Take him here and not. It's the QB room we talked about yesterday.
You're just gonna end up with Jared Goff. You just know he's gonna end up with Jared Goff.
I really like the idea of going Caleb and Goff. Like, that is actually my dream quarterback room this year. Don't really like the running backs here. I could like Zach Moss it. I think I am gonna go Caleb though. I could maybe get him on the way back. Like, you never know if things are gonna work out. Like, if you're looking at the board in real life, all 4 of these teams have a QB already in front of me, but you just never know how drafts are going to work. I'm only reaching a couple picks. I'm going to get Caleb and kind of see what happens on the way back here.
Ooh, I really was hoping to speak Zach Moss.
I thought about
that. Stinks. Wow, that is a bummer. Man, I shouldn't have taken Odunze, but he's so good. This is tough. I desperately need another running back. I feel like I'm just going to hit the 2-step here. I'm going to take one of my favorite year 2 guys in Tyjae Spears, full point PPR. I think it's an absolute slam dunk. And then I'm going to scoop up another running back that I'm quite fond of this year, and that is Brian Robinson. I think he's going to be the goal line back for the Commanders. And there's been some positive Eckler buzz. So I don't know how to handle that, but Brian Robinson was good last year. He was actually good as a receiver. And I think he's just a talented running back. So I'm going to take Brian Robinson here.
Okay. I'm going to go with a bit of a safer running back, I think. If you're a guy that's going to be on the field a ton, at least early on in the season, too, might get, chipped in from like Tyron Tracy and some of the other guys in the room. But I think Devon Singletary is a nice, safe running back 3 pick. I really waited on running back, which, do I regret? I don't know. We'll see. It's nice to have more good pieces on your team. Like, you can always make trades. Like, you can always, use your riches at wide receiver to go upgrade your running back position. But I still would like a third running back that I know is actually going to play and play often. So now I've got 3 running backs I actually feel pretty good about.
I don't think Devin Singletary is going to lose his role.
I don't think so either. And there is a world where like that team is okay. Personally, fuck, I could do it. He's right there. But I think there's other QBs I could kind of go see. Goff is looking, but I don't want to go 2 QBs in 3 rounds. That doesn't feel very smart in redraft. I'd love to get back on the wide receiver saddle. Haven't picked one since Tank Dell. Courtland Sutton's a safe pick. Curtis Samuel. I think I'm going to go with the rookie upside, though. I want AD Mitchell. Dude's been absolutely lighting up training camp. Could easily work himself into the wide receiver 2 there in front of Alec Pierce next to Michael Pittman. So I'm going to go with him and take that rookie upside with my wide receiver 5.
We like Shane Steichen.
Yeah.
And then Goff's off the board. What are you going to do? Okay, so I'm going to hammer running back one more time, and I'm just going to be done. And I'm going to complete the year 2 trifecta. So I've got Tyjae in his second year. I've got Achane in his second year. And I'm going to go ahead and take someone who's lighting up camp right now. And that's the Bengals running back, Chase Brown. Now, I'm still kind of team Zach Moss. I'm a big believer in Zach Moss just being good, but Chase Brown has the exact type of profile, especially in PPR, where he could be a really solid asset that you're taking here in the 10th round. I'll take Chase Brown. No problem there. Now it's time to get back to wide receiver. Man, Courtland Sutton is so boring. Sutton, Lockett, Shakir, Liggett. There's some fun guys down here too. Fine. I don't love Courtland Sutton, but wide receiver 5, he'll get the job done. I'll take Sutton here.
Fuck. I love Jerome Ford. And I don't love my running back room. I think Jerome Ford is a really solid piece, especially in the 11th round. The rumors continue to be that Nick Chubb's coming back, and I don't buy it. I do not buy it. Given the injuries he's already had on that knee and what type of damage he incurred, I think Jerome Ford is going to be quite a safe pick, and I actually really like him. He had some massive games last year. At this point, I'm probably done with my running backs. I've got 4 guys. Now, we've got kicker, defense, right? We've got those on. Probably take one more wide receiver swing here. Realistically, I'm probably taking another QB potentially in this format. We chopped off 2 bench spots, so realistically, we'd have 2 more bench spots, and I'd maybe take a QB somewhere along the way. But for the sake of this exercise, I'm just going to ride with Caleb, grab one more wide receiver, and then round out my roster with my kicker and defense. We got here. What is a good swing pick? Man. There's a lot of different guys here.
I should have drafted Liggett.
Yeah. I'm gonna. No, I can't do it. I almost said Gabe Davis, but I just won't fucking do it. I won't do it. I'm gonna grab another rookie with upside here. Take Jalen Polk. Figure he's gonna slot in pretty much day 1 next to Pop Douglas. Baker's coming, but it sounds like those 2 are gonna be the 2 and 2 wide receiver sets early on.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite guys on the board. Yeah. I see some year 2s. I see some rookies. I'm probably gonna go wide receiver here.
Not year 2.
I'm not really buying the Marshawn Lloyd hype. Ty Chandler's interesting. I think he's actually a pretty good pick at ADP considering Aaron Jones' injury history. I don't need a second tight end. I don't need a second quarterback. Josh Downs has had a hell of a camp. I think I'm going to roll with Josh Downs. Was pretty promising before he got hurt last year. Big believer in this Colts offense. That's a fun pick. And then
he actually had a pretty
we're
good
on
rookie season too. Like,
yeah, he
Jaden
did.
Reed kind of gets the buzz, but like minus the touchdowns, they actually weren't too far off.
So it's kickers versus defense. I like to stream defense, and so I like to prioritize kicker in this instance. If you're in a real mock draft, if you're in a real draft with your buddies, like Tucker goes in like the 9th round. Like people are just taking Tucker.
There's always some asshole who takes Justin Tucker in the 9th.
I'll just take Justin Tucker. He's going to be the best kicker in fantasy again. So start the run. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, I typically do the same. I don't really care for defense. I know some people are pretty keen on it, but even the best defenses are going to give you duds. Kind of like to rotate them.
Man, I forgot about Brandon Aubrey. Dude, that guy was so legit. He was so legit last year.
There's 50 yarders left and right. I was looking at him versus Bass. Bass is always missing like fucking PhDs
chip shots in the weather. You got to kick the kickers in the dome. I should have taken Aubrey, but come on. Everyone's
Who's
going to
Detroit's
take
kicker right now? Who's Detroit's kicker?
They don't kick, dude.
I know, but
they always go for
dome
it.
14 out of 17.
But they don't. Yeah, their kicker was terrible. Riley Patterson. They never kicked.
Yeah. Manders should be okay. Who's already went? Whatever. I was so far down. Dude, I'm actually gonna take the Bears. Their defense is good. They've got a cake schedule too.
I have not been in the lab researching defenses.
I have not looked at defenses. That
you telling me
just like something I do.
The Chiefs are out there. Come on, what?
One thing I like to do also for anyone who's still here is just pick a defense that you like your week 1 matchup. If you're just gonna pump and dump them anyways, pick someone that you like their week 1 matchup and really start with something
Baltimore.
Good.
Oof, they play Baltimore. I think Houston's actually gonna have a pretty good defense. Who they play week 1? Indy. Who did the Seahawks play week 1? Seahawks playing Denver week 1. Bo Nix, first career start.
There it is.
Man, I can't believe I just had to draft a defense and a kicker. Let's go to team reviews. I'll kick things off here. Again, this format's pretty simple. You play a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a flex, a tight end, kicker into defense. In years past, I have been trying to build these superstar wide receiver rooms in a league where you only can play 3. And it just, I don't think it has been that positive for me, EV. And I'm really just focusing on filling out my lineup. I'm focused on filling out my lineup to the best I can. And I deviated a little bit with that with Odunze. And by fill out my lineup, I want my stud running back. I want 3 really good wide receivers. I want an elite tight end this year. And I want a good quarterback.
I think you need one this
year.
And
I feel like
it's a clip with tight end.
Yeah. So I feel really comfortable with this roster that I built out. I'm a little worried about, say, Cooper Kupp and Mark Andrews with some of the lower body injuries that they've had. But I feel really excited about Kyler Murray in the 7th. Love Odunze as insurance for Cooper Kupp and maybe late season heroics out of a rookie wide receiver. CeeDee Lamb is just such a no-brainer. Achane and Collins, those are 3 of my favorite players on the board, so I'm stoked about that. And then at running back, this is probably how I'm going to play it. I'm just going to hammer these running backs that aren't in the dead zone after I've scooped up really good receivers. And big fan of Tyjae, Brian Robinson, and Chase Brown. I think they're all kind of flying under the radar a little bit. And I all think they have the potential to be pretty important facets of offenses that run a lot of plays. I don't know how good, say, the Commanders or Titans offenses will be, but I think they're going to run a ton of plays, which is good for fantasy. Sutton, didn't love that pick. I probably feel like I could have taken Leggett for a rookie upside, but I don't know. Sutton's safe. And then Josh Downs. I like Shakira as a real life player. I don't know about having him in redraft. And then Josh Downs is just, I think, an excellent pick. He could have a really great year. It's all about passing volume, but he's a really talented guy. And then, Tucker's going to go way earlier than he did, but if you have an opportunity to take the best kicker probably in NFL history, you're going to do it. And then I took the Seahawks because they're playing the Broncos week 1. That was an easy one.
There it is. There it is. I took a pretty similar team building approach, but it is pretty funny, especially when you look at the top 6 to 8 rounds. So when wide receiver, loved Jason Aiyuk to start my team. Got Pacheco as my first running back. Feel like he's a really solid running back. One, tied to an elite offense. They're going to score a ton of touchdowns. Grabbed 2 more wide receivers after that. Probably got a little greedy with Dell. Maybe could have gone Kenneth Walker or James Conner. James Conner's been a guy that I've loved rostering over the years, and doesn't feel like he's really going anywhere. He's gonna miss a couple games, but absolute fantasy playoff machine. Grabbed a tight end in Evan Engram. Like Shaun said, it kind of feels like this is not falls off, but like tight end starts to fall off very soon after Engram. You'd still go like a Kittle, Bowers, and Njoku and Ferg, but kind of beyond that, it's like I'm kind of good. So grabbed Engram, sandwiched 2 more running backs in between Caleb Williams with Najee and Devon Singletary, 2 guys who I think have pretty clear roles in their offenses, and then went with a couple young guys here. We got AD Mitchell, could potentially play himself into 2 wide receiver sets depending on how he comes out of the gates and the rest of training camp. I absolutely love Jerome Ford. Every single format, it's someone I've been drafting in best ball, someone I'll be putting on my redraft teams because, dude, in the 11th round, it's a starting running back in the 11th round. It's a guy that I can't stop drafting. Really not worried about the other 2 guys in that backfield. Jalynn, Polk, another rookie upside guy. Then I've got a kicker on a high scoring offense in Aubrey and the Chicago Bears to take on Will Levis week 1.
I'd be pretty happy if this was my team. I'm not gonna lie. I think overall
I could rock with this for sure.
Pretty awesome. And then I think even some of these late round guys will fall even more because you will have people reach up for defensive kicker in your standard home leagues, which Sleeper did not do on this randomized mock draft. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This was a ton of fun. We're going to keep playing around with different formats. We'll do half point PPR one of these days. Might even do a super flex. We'll throw some stuff at you. But if you have any suggestions on types of mock drafts you want, leave them in the comments below. We appreciate it. Aidan, thank you for hopping on as always. And until next time.